What's going on, everyone? Day number 1, 2023 ISDE from San Juan, Argentina is officially in the books. Results are in. Everything may not be official from when I record this update. There's still things that need to be gone through as far as penalties and stuff like that maybe weren't brought up during the course of the day and not applied to the results. But I'll give you guys a breakdown on what happened today in day number 1, the information that I have. Some of this may not be entirely accurate as far as the circumstances go, but as far as the results go, for the most part, everything is as shown. Starting off with the World Trophy, USA takes first crack at it, and they jump out to the early lead on day number 1. Huge storylines behind them with riders from other countries having issues, and I'm going to get into that right now. Again, if I happen to look away, I'm looking at the laptop, so I have all my notes right here so I can give you guys the updates. But first off, day number 1, and I'll throw the graphic up here for you to show you what the loop looked like. 226 kilometers, roughly 140 miles, 7 hours on the bike today. So long first day. It's going to be the same thing tomorrow, same exact loop for day 2 tomorrow as it was for day 1 today. Starting out first was Andrea Verona from Italy. He took the very first special test of the day. Josep Garcia, the reigning multi-time anyway, and defending champion individually outright. He took the final 5 tests of the day, and he leads the day. He leads after day 1 in the individual standings. As far as the Americans go, all 4 riders threw in at least one top 5 time in a special test today. The best being Dante Oliveira. He put in a top 3 time in a test. He also ends the day 3rd overall behind Garcia and Verona. So Dante Oliveira is the top American, and he leaves the day 3rd overall heading into tomorrow. Big storylines from other countries. Théo Espinasse from France. Huge problems in the first test. I'm assuming it was a crash. I haven't gotten confirmation on that yet. Lost a lot of time. He lost about a minute, and that really put France, on the back burner early. However, throughout the rest of the day, Espinasse put in the fastest times of the day for France, right around that 5, 6, 7 range as far as test times go, and he brought France back into this thing. So if USA needs to watch for anybody in any country, it needs to be France, specifically because of the effort that Théo Espinasse is going to be putting in the rest of this week. He was 65th overall after the first test with that crash, I'm assuming is what he had. He ends the day in the top 10 overall after the other 5 tests. So USA needs to watch for him if they want a shot at winning this thing outright. Another one, the final test of the day. Italian, the former motocrosser Samuele Bernardini, chain drive issues in the final test. He lost over 6 minutes, and he was putting in top 5 times all day long, and that drops him down the overall as well as Italy down the overall because of those 6.5 minutes. So Italy is going to be fighting back all week long. They were heading into the 6th test in 2nd, and they dropped all the way, I believe, to the top 5 spot. I'll have the results here in front of me, and I'll throw them up for you guys as well on screen. For Spain, Sergio Navarro, he had a crash in test 5, I believe. He lost 4.5 to 5 minutes because of that issue. So that drops Spain in the rankings, despite the efforts from Garcia after leading after today's racing. So that's France, Italy, and Spain all having issues. So the only other one besides USA, the only other country besides USA that's consistent after today was Great Britain. However, Alex Snow was the low man on the team. He just did not have the pace in any of the 6 tests today. So for that reason, USA has a pretty good lead over Great Britain after day number 1. Top 10 overall individually. I'll throw it up on the screen. Josep Garcia, Andrea Verona, like I said, Dante Oliveira, 3rd overall. 4th overall is Cole Martinez. Taylor Robert is 5th. So 3 Americans in the top 5, which is great. Jamie McCaney from Great Britain in the number 6 spot. 7th is Nathan Watson, also from Great Britain. Johnny Gerard, the last American, he holds on to 8th overall after day number 1. Jed Etchells from Great Britain in 9th. And like I said, Teo Espinasse, even after those early struggles in the first test, he rounds out the day in 10th overall for France. So as you can see right there, 4 Americans in the top 10, three Great Britain riders in the top 10. So right now, after day number 1, it's a USA versus GB fight for team honors. So I'm going to wrap up this segment by showing you guys the top 5 in the World Trophy standings. United States is out front. Great Britain in the number 2 spot. France, with that help from Teo Espinasse, despite that early mistake, is in 3rd. Had he not lost that minute, they would be in the number 2 spot right now, very close to the United States. Spain runs in 4th, and then Italy, because of those issues for Samuele Bernardini, they dropped to the number 5 spot after being 2nd heading into the final test. In the Junior World Trophy standings, it was all Team Sweden, like I told you guys in the pre-race show a couple of days ago. Sweden is always fast, especially in juniors, and it's the same exact team as it was last year. So these guys have the experience, despite the fact that one rider on the team didn't even make it through day 1 before he had to retire. Sweden knows this event. They're very good in the juniors, and they came to race. So individually, and I'll throw the results up on the screen for you guys, individual results as far as junior goes, this is on position. This is not the overall for the American riders. I did add their overall results into the graphic right here. Albin Norben, Axel Sem, and Max Alin, all from Sweden, hold the top 3 spots in junior. So no surprise there. Sweden leads the team standings after day number 1. Matteo Oliveira, the top American rider, in 4th overall. He also holds down 21st overall in the standings. Enrico Rinaldi, the first Italian junior rider, he runs 5th. Behind him is countryman Manolo Moratini. He runs 6th overall. Antoine Alice, the first French rider, runs in 7th. Behind him, his countryman Leo Joyon from France. Kai Aiello, the second American, he runs 30th overall and 9th in juniors. And then Thibaut Giraudon from France, he runs out the top 10. Grant Davis, 35th overall, but also right outside the top 10 in juniors, holding on to 11th. In the team standings, no surprise, Sweden out front, like I mentioned earlier. Italy holds on to 2nd with all 3 of their riders in the top 10. France is 3rd, then the United States in 4th, and Great Britain in 5th. There's a good gap, and there always is in juniors between 1st to 3rd, 1st to 5th, 3rd to 5th. So, for USA to get into it, they're going to have to pick up the pace. But like I said, and like they just showed on day number 1, Sweden came prepared, and they are ready to go. For the 2nd year in a row, the defending champions of the Women's World Trophy team standings, team classification, are already out of it. Great Britain they're already out of it in the team standings. Emily Hall retired early in the day, so Great Britain is already out of it as far as defending their championship from last year. As far as the individual finishes go, Brandy Richards ends the day leading outright. She won 5 of the 6 tests. The only test that she lost was test number 2, and she took 3rd. So Brandy Richards leads the way outright after winning 5 of the 6 tests. Corey Steed, the low rider for USA, she had an off day. Not entirely sure what the situation is. However, she did have a crash in one of the special tests. That crash can actually be viewed on the FIM ISDE Instagram story. Emma Sharpless from Canada had actually moved out of the way to give Corey a clear path because of the way they started. And Corey just hit a loose spot and laid it down, so that cost her some time, but she is right in there in the standings. Had she not had that crash, then USA would be leading outright as far as the team standings go. More shakeups, like I said, along with Hall along with Emily Hall from Great Britain. Canada has already lost 2 riders. They've lost Emma Sharpless, like I said just a second ago, that moved out of the way for Corey Steed, and they also lost Natasha LaChapelle. The lone rider left, their strongest rider, Felicia Robichaud, she is still in it, but Canada, unfortunately, is out, especially now that they have 2 riders out on the very first day. Like I said in the pre-show and the rider and team breakdown, very dry, very dusty. You can look at the FIM ISDE Instagram page. They posted videos from the test. Very dry, very dusty. So Canada is now also out. And then the other big one, running 2nd, heading into the final test individually in the Women's World Trophy standings, was Maria Franco of Germany. She never even made it to the final test. So Germany has lost a rider now, and they are out of the team contention, for the time being. After all the retirements today, I'm not going to throw some of these countries out. I'm not going to throw Great Britain out. I'm not going to throw Germany out of potentially winning this thing, mainly because the chances of retirement due to mechanical issues are so high. It could very easily happen to the United States. It could very easily happen to Spain, France, and the other countries that still have 3 riders in this. USA and Australia are the lead teams. They're far and away above everybody else, but mechanicals can happen. So I'm not going to count anything out to happen to them. We obviously don't want anything to happen to any of those riders and any of those teams, but because of the conditions out there, it is very likely a possibility. So right now, I'll throw the graphic up on the screen. Individual results for the women's World Trophy riders after day number 1. Brandy Richards leads the way from the United States. Behind her, the 16-year-old from Australia, Danielle McDonald, put in a phenomenal performance today, including that one special test win that Brandy Richards did not claim. Behind her, the Australian import for the United States, Taylor Jones, she holds on to 3rd, and a former 2-time individual outright winner in the Women's World Trophy. Like I said, she is 3rd. Rachel Gudish in 4th from the United States, and the 3rd Australian, rounding out the top 5, Jessica Gardner. Behind her in 6th is the 3rd American, Corey Steed. Like I said, not the greatest day, but we got 4 more days of special test racing. She has room to pick it up, and like I said, tomorrow is the same exact layout and the same exact course as it was today on day number 1. In 7th, the first Frenchman, Elodie Chaplot. Behind her, the first British rider, Neve Holmes. Justine Martel from France is in 9th, and rounding out the top 10, Tanja Schlosser from Germany after the retirement of Maria Franca. For the World Trophy standings, Australia leads the way by only 2.57 seconds over the United States. Like I said, Corey Steed, and the only reason I'm pointing to Corey is because they got it on video. Obviously, Brandy lost the 2nd test. Not sure if Rachel Gudish had any issues, but they are right in this thing. Couple of mistakes thrown out. USA is right in the lead on this thing over Australia. In 3rd is France. Number 4 team is FIM Latin America, and that is comprised of different riders from the Latin American countries. If a country doesn't have a team to put together, they started this last year. The FIM started doing this last year with 6 days, and they do it with the Motocross the Nations as well. They allow other countries to come in, riders from other countries to come in and form teams, and form a team, in this instance, the FIM Latin American team. Rounding out 5th, since they have all 3 riders still, is Argentina, the home country, and the women's home team. So they are the only team, the only trophy team in Argentina that is in the top 5 standings between the World Trophy, Junior Trophy, and Women's Trophy after day number 1. Wrapping up the day 1 breakdown video, the club classification standings. Leading the way, it's all Americans. Team XC Gear with Josh Toth, Ryan Surratt, and Austin Serpa. They have a 14.7 second lead over the Braptastic.com team. Preston Campbell, Zach Toth, and Axel Pearson. In the number 3 spot, another 8 seconds back, is Team GTBN with Thorne Devlin, Jaden Donners, and Nathan Ferderer. And then there's an Argentinian club team in 4th, and rounding out the top 5, the Missouri Motors team of Kate Henderson, Jack Walker, and Trevor Maley. They are about 4 minutes, just under 4 minutes off of the lead pace, but they are holding strong in the top 5. Individually speaking, because of all those Americans up front, it's the same. It reflects the same way in the individual standings. Josh Toth leads the way by almost 24 seconds over Preston Campbell. Those two took the special test wins today. I think it was 5-1, Toth and Campbell getting the special test victories today. Axel Pearson in 3rd, Austin Serpa in 4th, and Thorne Devlin rounding out the top 5. The only retirement on day number 1 is from the Elizabeth Scott community team of Jeremy Schoening. Unfortunately, didn't complete the first day of racing. I don't know. I haven't heard an update on what his status is, if he's able to re-impound. You can do that. You can re-impound and keep racing. Your scores will not be counted, and they will not be counted towards your team. You can finish the event if you want to. You came all this way. You paid all this money. No sense. If you can race, if the bike can make it and you can make it, you can still run the course and race the special test. Your times just won't be counted. But other than that, that is your day 1 breakdown. Same course, the same 226 kilometers, 140 miles, 7 more hours on the bike tomorrow for day number 2. It's the same route. But we'll see what the guys have in store. Like I said, USA leads the way in the World Trophy standings. Junior World Trophy, the USA is 4th, but then USA is 2nd, just not even 3 seconds off the pace in the Women's World Trophy standing. So, like I said, that's the breakdown for day number 1. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that like, hit the subscribe button for me. Help me get up in the algorithm. I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow for day number 2.